Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, I'll be showing you how to make this short bustier gown with a flace sleeve that comes with an elastic. And if you're interested in learning how to do that, keep watching this video. So I'll be making use of 2.5 yards of fabric. So depending on how long you want yours, you can go higher or depending on your body size. Yes. Firstly, I'll be drafting the upper part first, that is from shoulder to half length, and now I'm trying to mark out my starting point. So I'm going down by 1 inch, that's for my starting line, and I'll be using my ruler to roll that out so you can see it clearly. So this is actually one fold, so I'll be tearing them apart so that I can use one for the front and one for the back. So moving over to the drafting, from the starting line I will measure down to the half length. I'll be adding half an inch to the half length so that I can use it for the joining of the upper and the down part. And I'll be using my ruler to rule that out. On the shoulder line, I will mark out shoulder divided by 2 plus half an inch. Then I'll go down by my armhole, which is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. And I'll use a ruler to mark it down, and I will rule the other part out just like you can see me doing. Then from there I'll mark out my underbust, and I already have my half length. Then I'll mark out my bust point, which is what I'm supposed to mark out first, but there you go. And I will use my ruler to outline this so that you can see it better. Yeah. After that, I will come to the armhole line, go down by 1 for the shoulder slope. Then I'll mark 3 inches, that's 3 by 3 for the neck and width line, and I'll mark it like this. This is actually not necessary, but I need to do it so that you can understand it better. Yeah, so I will be dividing my bust into 4, and whatever I have I mark it there. Then for the armhole I will divide it by 2, and I will go in by 0.75. then I will connect it just like you can see me doing. Then after that I will get my nipple to nipple measurement, and I will put it on the bust point and the half length, and I will roll it just like you can see me doing. After rolling this out, the next thing is that I will come to the half length. I will mark out 1.5 for that, and I will do it on both sides. I will also do the same thing to the underbust, and I'll use my ruler to connect the lines like this. Then on the bust point I will connect the lines just like you can see me doing. That's for that leg. I'll connect it this way. After I'm done doing that, I will measure whatever I have from the bust point to the underbust. I will mark it out, or simply come to the shoulder, go down by 7 inches or 6 inches depending on how low you want this bustier to be. Yes, so if you want it to revealing, you can go down as much as you want. So I'll use my ruler to connect the lines just like you can see me doing. Then after that I will come to the shoulder, divide whatever I have there, and I will divide it by 2. Then I will connect it to the bust point. Then for the overbust tightening, I will come to the overbust line and I will mark 1 inch on both sides. So I will connect it straight to the bust point. Yes, so this is what it looks like, and I'll be using my marker to blend this so that the bust point won't be too pointy. Yes, so the next thing I'm going to be doing, I will come to that part and I will measure the dots that I have there, and I will replace it. You can see where I'm replacing it, so watch very closely and you will see that I'm replacing it from that line, and I will mark it out. I have 2 inches, so I'll mark it out there. Then I'll also measure that part where my armhole line is seated, and I will replace it there, and I will also add 2 inches for sewing allowance. Yes, so after I'm done doing that, you can see that I'm trying to show you where to measure. After I'm done doing that, I will divide my waist into 4, mark it out, and whatever I have as that, I will replace it, and I'll also add 2 inches for sewing allowance. After I'm done doing that, I'll connect the lines just like that. Then I'll cover my armhole line. So we are literally done. This is not so hard. Then I will come to this part and I will go down by 1 inch or 1.5 or 2 inches depending on how deep you want your neckline to be, but I went down by 1 inch and I connected it this way. So the next thing to do is I'm trying to mark out the sewing allowance that I added here so that you can see it very well. So the only thing remaining is for me to mark out my French dart. So I'll come to the bust point line and I will go down by 2 inches. And you know the French dart is the difference you have between the dart and the front. So this body size, the French dart is 2 inches. That's the difference between the front and back half length. And I'll mark it, connect it this way, and I will start cutting this out. So literally, if you want this outfit to have a yoke, if you want your bustier to have a yoke, this upper part is very necessary that you keep it, but it is not needed here. So after I'm done cutting, watch very closely and see how I'll split this part, and I'll use my masking tape to hold it down. But before I do that, I'll have to tear up this part into pieces. So watch very closely and see how you cut your bustier. So now we have the center front and the side front. Yes. So what we are going to be doing here is that I'll be tearing this off, and I will use a masking tape to hold this down. I will set this aside and I will go over to the back. So we'll move over to drafting the back. I'll come down by 1 inch as the starting line. So after I'm done doing that, I'll use my ruler to connect the lines together. So for the half length is going to be 2 inches shorter than the one of the front. Yes, that is the difference between the front and the back. If you want me to make a detailed video on how to draft your bodies, basic bodies, just let me know and I'll make a video on that. So I'll be marking, I use 16 inches as for the front. That's 16.5 plus half an inch, like 16 inches plus half inch, that's 16.5. Yeah, so here I'll be making use of 14.5 inches. Yes, that's 14 and a half. On the shoulder, I'll divide by 2, adding half an inch, that is 8, and I will mark out my armhole measurement, checking if the lines are equal. Then I'll connect the lines like this, come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, divide what I have left into 2, then go in by 0.75, then I will extend the armhole line. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I will mark out my over bust part. Yes, that is what we'll be working with, so that it aligns with the front. Yes, actually whatever measurements that are left here are actually not needed. It's only the over bust and the half length, but I don't want anybody to get confused. So dividing the bust by 4, I will mark it out and I'll connect the armhole just like you can see me doing right there. So I'll mark out the bust fan, that is nipple to nipple measurement. I'll mark it all the way to the over bust line. Yes, and I will mark out half an inch on both sides for the half length, and I will connect it to the over bust, just over bust line, just like you can see me doing. After that, I will divide the waist by 4, mark it out, measure the dart and replace it. Then I will add 2 inches as the sewing allowance. I will add 2 inches at the armhole line and I will connect it just like I see me doing. We are literally done. Yes, so if you'd want to have a back yoke, just like I told you about the front, you can as well do anything you want to do with the yoke we have right here. Yes, you can alter anything you want to alter. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. Yes, so I'll be adding an extension for the zipper. So I initially did not add the zipper allowance because I would want anyone that wants to have a corset back to alter at this point. Yes, but I want this to have a zipper, so I'll be adding an extension. I'll be adding an extension right here. So I'll be using my masking tape to hold this down. Yeah, after I'm done, I will go ahead and add my zipper allowance and I will cut it out just like you can see me doing. So this is for the zipper. I added 2 inches for the zipper allowance. Then on the half length, I will go in on the zipper part, I will go in by 0.75 and I'll connect it just like you can see me doing. This is to eliminate zipper bulge. Yes, so I'll cut this out and we can now go ahead to cutting it on the main fabric. Yes, so this is it. This is the back and these are for the front. Yes, so we have to start cutting it on the fabric. So I'll be using my pin to hold this down, and after I'm done doing that, I will be using my chalk to mark out 1/2 inch all around except for the sides and for the down part and for the armhole part. Yes, so every other part I'm going to add 1/2 inch. That's for the joining. So you can see me right here cutting it just this way. So I cut this into two so they are on fold. I'm trying to mark out the back part so I don't get confused with this type of fabrics. So after I'm done doing that, I'll cut out the center part, and that one is going to be on fold. So you can see it right here. Do not make a mistake to cut it without putting it on fold, just like this. So I'll use my pin to hold this down. So I'll use my chalk to mark this out just like you can see me doing. Then I will go ahead and cut this out. I will also go ahead and cut the back too. So after cutting on the main fabric, you also cut the same thing on the lining. So I'm done cutting for both the fabric and the lining, and this is the side front, and I'll be placing it to the back so that you can see that they matches very well. Yes, so that is the effect of you using your French dart properly. So this is what we have here. I'll be using an interfacing for the main fabric, and I'll also be using this wording for the side front and the center front. Yes, so I'll be placing it this way. So I'll be placing it this way. I'll be placing it 1/2 inch below the on the bust. Yes, yeah. So I'll place it this way, and I'll use if it's possible, use your pin to hold this down. So I will be minusing 1/2 inch at the upper part so it does not affect me joining the lining and the main fabric together. So I will do the same thing to all of them. So after cutting, this is what we have here. This is for the center front. Yes, so this is how it looks like. So I'll be using an interface before I will now go ahead and place this on the main fabric and not on the lining. So I will go ahead to iron. So I'll go ahead to draft the skirt. So I will mark out my starting line. I normally cut out that white part, so I'll mark out my starting line down from there, which is 1/2 inch, and I will place my tape to get the waist divided by 4, and I will mark it right there. Then I will place my tape to get 10 inches, and that is for the hip part. Yes, so that's the hip line. I will divide the hip by 4. So whatever I have, I will mark it right there. So I'm trying to cross check the waist, and I found out that I marked higher. Yeah, so I'll add 2 inches for the sewing allowance both for the waist and for the hip. Yes, I'll be using 2 inches as sewing allowance. Then I'll place my tape on the starting line, and I will get the skirt length. Yes, so you can go higher, you can go shorter depending on what you want. Then I will add 1.5 inches for the sewing allowance, and I will connect the lines like that. So whatever I have at the hip part, I will take it down, minusing 1 inch from it, and I'll mark it right there. So I'm using my ruler to connect the line like that. Then I'll use my hip curve to connect the one from the hip to the waist. So that is what we have right here. Then I'll go ahead to cut this out, and I'll be using it to cut the back. So I'll be putting the fabric on fold, and I'll be marking out my zipper allowance, which is 2 inches, and I'll mark it down to the length of the skirt. Placing the front on the zipper line, I will go ahead to cut this out after adding the dart to the back. So I'll go ahead to use my scissors to cut this out. After cutting it, I will go ahead to tear this open. That's the zipper part. Then I will come to that part, and I will go in by 0.75. Yes, that is to eliminate zipper bulge. Come down by 10 inches. That's the hip, and I will connect the lines like that. I will go ahead to cut this out, and after I'm done, I will also cut on the lining. Yes, and whilst cutting on the lining, I will reduce the lining by 1 inch. So I'll take everything to the machine to join the necessary parts. So I am done. So this is what we have here. I have gone ahead to stitch the back part. You can see right there, join into that, and I also used an interfacing on the right, on the fabric, the main fabric, and this is for the front part. I have gone ahead to join the necessary parts, and I left it like this so that I can show you guys. So this is what we have here. You can see that I use an interface, and I also used iron to open up that part. You can see I've ironed this very well. So what is remaining is to join this line, to iron this part on the lining, and I will also turn it to the right side and I will join it this way. That's after I'm done ironing this out. So I'll be using 1/2 inch to stitch that part where you can see my fingers crossing, and I will also join the sides with 0.25. So this is what we have here. I am done doing that. Yeah, and I also went ahead to use hemming gum to iron to hold down the lining part at that front part so that it does not get to be pulling up. Yeah, the lining doesn't get to be popping up. So I'm done also stitching the skirt, and I will go ahead to join the up part to the down part. So I noticed that if I should join the sides, that I wouldn't have any armholes. So what I decided to do is to go in. I decided to show you guys this. Yeah, so I decided to go in by 1.5 inch at that part. Yes, and I will trim it out. I will do it to the front, two sides of the front, and also the two sides of the back. Yes, then I'll go ahead to go stitch the proper stitching. So at this point, I am done joining the upper part to the down part. It is time to shaping it up, and that is what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to mark it out. So I am done shaping it, and what is left is the sleeves. So you can see that I have a slit here, so I made this to be longer than the picture is, so you can go ahead and not open the slit if you do not want a slit, but I literally want a slit on this. Yeah, so this is what we have here. You can go ahead to iron this out so that this will come out nice. Yeah, so now it is time for us to draft the sleeves. Yeah, so if you're finding this video interesting and helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video so that it can be recommended to others, watch my ads, yes, so that I can make mouth-watering videos for you guys. So it is time to draft the sleeves, and this is what we have here. So I will be marking out my starting line, but I'll be taking off the white part out from there. Yeah, so the picture shows that the sleeves are supposed to be two, but I am literally making one sleeve. So but I will show you how to do it if you want your sleeve to be double. Yeah, so I will go ahead and place my the main outfit on that, the armhole of the main outfit on that, and I will get my sleeve length. So I was supposed to come down by 1 inch because it has a an elastic. I was supposed to come down by 1 inch before I place my sleeves, but I'll still show you how to do that. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. Yeah, so this was the part I remember that I was supposed to come down by 1 inch. Yes, so I'll mark out 1 inch, then get the gown and place it back on that part. Remember, this is on fold. Yes, so I'll place it back on that part. You can see me placing it right there. Then I will go ahead to trim it out so you will have your perfect sleeve curve. Yes, so after tracing it out, I'll go ahead to cut this out. So I'll be using the 1 inch and I'll fold it 1/2 inch twice. Yes, I'll use the 1 inch to run a casing for the elastic that is going to be there, and I will also use a bias tape to hem the down part of the sleeve. Yes, so I'll be cutting this twice, that is for the left and for the right sleeve. And I am done cutting for the left and the right, and this is what we have here. So I'm trying to open this up so you guys can see it. So I'll be using my chalk to mark the right side of the fabric so I don't get confused because the label is no longer there. So because of the fact that I have reduced the length of this, I mistakenly reduced the length of this thing, I will go ahead and use my bias tape to hem the down part, so, and run my casing for elastic. So this is what we have here. Yeah, so I am trying to show you that if you want the sleeve to be double, the first one that will be on top will be shorter, and before you run your casing for the elastic, you will have to place the two of them together like this before you run your stitches for the elastic. I'm sorry. Yes, so but I want this to be single sleeve, so this is what we have. So it is time for me to join this to the main outfit, and I will be joining this right side facing right side, as you can see me doing right here. I've already stringed in my elastic. Yeah, so I'll be using my pin to hold this down, so you can look very closely and you will see how I am joining this two so that it doesn't get too wasted. Join it right side facing right side, so watch very closely and you'll understand how to do it. So this is what we have here, and I will then go ahead and join this with half an inch. After doing that, I will go ahead and use the sewing allowance I left for the main gown to join this. So after that, this is what we have right here. So this couldn't fit in on my mannequin because of the size. Yeah, so this is what we have right here. I'm trying to turn it to the right side so that you can see it very properly. So you can go ahead and iron this out properly, and if this video was helpful to you in any way, kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, kindly watch my ads, so do not skip any ads. Please kindly watch it, and see you guys on my next video. Bye.